You want to know how to start an LLC in California. How much is it going to cost? How long will it take? What are some common issues faced by Golden State entrepreneurs? Well, I've got answers, including the number one pitfall you must avoid if you want to be successful. Full disclosure, before we begin, you should know that I have relationships with the services featured in this video, and when you use them through the links in the description below, I do receive a small referral fee, but that is at no additional cost to you. There are basically two ways of forming an LLC. There's the free 7-step DIY way, and there's the easier way where you use an LLC formation service like Busy. Whichever option you choose, I'll be covering each option in this video in detail. If you're already overwhelmed and you just want to do it the easy way with Busy, I'll put the time code up here for you. Step 1, you're going to start by going to this link on the California State website. Create an account. Select Register a Business under the business entity title, Articles of Organization California LLC, and follow the prompts to completion. Now it's time to name your LLC. And once you've selected a name, you have to make sure that name is actually available. So head over to the Secretary of State's website and look it up on their trademark database. There are a couple of rules when coming up with your name. For example, the name can't be misleading. One example, you cannot select a name that suggests that you are affiliated with a government organization or authority if you're not. Same goes for insurers. Unless you are fully licensed, avoid insurer names. Also remember that your company name will have to end with LLC, either completely spelled out or just the initials. Quick tip, once you've selected your brand new company name and made sure it's available, you're going to want to grab any matching URLs at a domain register. Personally, I use NameSilo. Step 2, you're going to want to select a registered agent. Why? A registered agent is the person or company designated to receive legal correspondence on behalf of your LLC. It's their job to relay important messages about government, tax, and legal correspondence to you, the business owner, in a timely manner. The registered agent is listed on the business formation documents, which in California are called the Statement of Information. They're also referred to as the Articles of Organization or the Articles of Incorporation, depending on the type of business you actually have. At this point in the video, I have good news for you, and I have bad news for you. I'll start with the good news. You can be your own registered agent. The bad news, though, is that that's kind of a headache. You gotta be 18 years old, okay? That's easy. You gotta have a physical address in the state. Again, that's easy. And note, your physical registered agent address cannot be a P.O. box, and it will become part of the public record. So if you care about privacy, probably not the best idea. As a registered agent, you also need to be prepared to accept and respond to government mailings. For most people, going with a company that just charges a few $100 a year for registered agent services is just the better option. Personally, I like Busy. You might know it as InkFile. Also remember that filing independently can cut some costs, but you trade that safety for the potential for errors and the problems that those can bring. And don't forget that the time you spend setting up your business could be spent operating it instead. So for those of you who would prefer to focus on the substance of your business, whether that's big picture or just bringing more money to the door, it's probably worth outsourcing formation to a company like Busy. Your third step to starting an LLC is filing your Articles of Incorporation, which are basically just paperwork that say, "Hi, I'm Ben, and I started a cupcake company." You can do this by heading to the Secretary of State's website where all the forms are available. There is a $100 filing fee and a $15 handling fee if you do it in person. This process also takes 5 to 7 business days. You'll then receive a certificate from the state, which leads us quickly into step 4, creating your operating agreement, which costs around $40 and is required by the state of California. What is an operating agreement? It is a basic legal document that sets forth the structure, management, decision-making process, and operating procedures of your business. Basically, your operating agreement says what your company does and how it does it. Do you need one? Yes, if only to open a bank account. But the chances are, once you've set up your operating agreement, you won't refer to it often at all, but you do need one. So be ready to answer such exciting questions as, what percentage of the LLC do members own? What are the responsibilities of managers and members? How is profit determined? Who composes the board and how often do they meet? Do you even need a board? So yeah, pretty boring, but essential stuff. Personally, I outsource this to Busy. I just answer their questions and I let them make the operating agreement for me. Step 5 is filing a statement of information, which basically just lists the company's owners and officers, as well as the business address and the business description. Think of this as your first annual report. This is important because without one, you could be assessed either a $250 penalty by the Franchise Tax Board for profit entities, or suspension or forfeiture. It costs around $25 to file one, which includes a nominal disclosure fee. And then you have to file within 90 days of registering with the California Secretary of State, then again every 2 years after, during the specific 6-month period based on your original registration. Step 6 is obtaining your all-important EIN, that's Employment Identification Number. The good news is this is free. You can do it online, just go to the IRS's website and fill out Form SS4. Best of all, the average turnaround time for doing it online is about 15 minutes, whereas applying via snail mail or fax can take up to a month to process. And if you're applying by fax, how are you watching this video from 1994? Most businesses require an EIN, but not every California LLC or corporation does. So why would you need one? Well, in addition to privacy, it's way better than sharing your social security number. An EIN is often required by your bank to set up a business account. You also need an EIN to apply for a business license or permit in California. Plus, an EIN also gives your business a little more credibility. Your final step is paying the annual franchise tax fee. As of the recording of this video, every LLC doing business in California must pay an annual fee of $800. Did I already mention that California is expensive? You don't have to pay the franchise tax immediately. You have until the 15th day of the 4th month from the date you originally filed with the Secretary of State to pay, but if you have the money at hand, just get it out of the way and pay now. This applies even to startup companies with no sales. We're in revenue building, just coming out of stealth mode. Even those companies have to pay, so there's no avoiding it. Now, if your head is spinning or you just want to get back to work building your business, you can use what I call the easy method. Step 1. You click the link in the description below and you'll be taken directly to Busy's webpage. Once you've selected LLC in California, you'll be taken to a page where you can select your package. But you do get your first year of having a registered agent free, which is an immediate advantage to using this system. If I'm going to recommend one specifically, I would strongly recommend looking at the mid-tier standard option for most businesses. For most people, this standard package is going to be plenty because you get everything you get in the basic package. That's business name search, document preparation, filing, and a free year of registered agent service. And you get your EIN number, customized business formation documents, and expedited filing. Next, you'll be naming your LLC. Busy will actually contact you if your name is no longer available for an LLC. Next, you'll put in your contact information, and here's where you'll choose whether you want to set up your LLC with your personal address, or if you want to have Busy take care of that for you for a small monthly fee. Here with the basic package is where you'll get one more prompt to see if you want to upgrade to the premium package. Then it's time to list the members of your LLC. Then you'll be asked whether or not you want Busy to act as your registered agent. This is the part where it's nice to get free stuff. Next, in order to attain an EIN, you'll be prompted to enter your name and social security number. Follow the instructions on screen. If you don't have a social security number or would prefer, you can actually use your individual taxpayer identification number if you happen to have one. From there, you'll be prompted to potentially open up a business account with Bank of America if you'd like to do so. There are other options for business bank accounts, but if you want to complete this portion of your filing all at once, you can do so here. Then it'll prompt you to deliver your LLC either electronically or with a physical mailing address. Busy will also identify potential business licenses for you if you'd like to add them onto your purchase. Then after you carefully review that all your information is correct, it's time to file. It is important to note here that there are some costs that will incur on a yearly basis, whether or not you actually use Busy. You've got your annual fees, your annual report filing, and a few others that will occur every year regardless if you use a service like Busy. And even though Busy offers 1 year of registered agent service free, that will go up to 119 the next year. So just know that when you're setting up your business, some of these lower fees will increase after a year. Why start an LLC? Primarily, it's because you want to limit your liability. Let's say you start a business selling cupcakes, and one day your cat gets into the cupcakes and contaminates them, and your customers start getting sick. If you have a properly registered LLC, your customers can sue your company or even you, but your personal assets, house, car, bank accounts, those will all be better protected under your LLC. Now, that is a simplification, and high-risk companies, doctors, dentists, chiropractors can't just open an LLC and call it a day. But generally speaking, the purpose of opening a limited liability company is to limit your liability. Now, as far as taxes go, your LLC is what is known as a pass-through entity. Basically, there aren't any sneaky tax savings with an LLC. You pay your personal income tax on the LLC's revenue, and the LLC itself doesn't pay taxes. For most of you watching this, if you're in business, you should have a proper business structure. And for most of you, that's going to be an LLC, but don't expect it to go opening a whole bunch of tax savings up for you. Now, let's take a look at the 2 big pros and 1 big con of opening an LLC in California. Pros. LLCs are the most straightforward and commonly used business structure in America today. You get personal liability protection because in the eyes of California law, an LLC and its owner are 2 separate entities. So if your business crashes or the LLC is sued, creditors can't usually come after your personal assets. And California is a litigious state. Cons: opening a California LLC is not cheap. It costs $70 to file, and annual reporting there is $25. California also normally charges an $800 annual minimum franchise tax on LLCs there. The world needs more entrepreneurs and creatives like you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.